G'day, it's Farmer Jay and welcome back to Derriere Farms, where today we're going to be doing a video, a follow-up video on the tractor maintenance video, which was one of my more popular ones. I'm going to link that in the top of the corner. It's titled How to Reduce Your Maintenance Costs, and it explains all the factors that go into determining how much you pay for maintenance per hour and what happens. Why maintenance varies so wildly compared to Farming Simulator 19. Now, I do make how-to videos on a regular basis, and if you would like to learn how to get the most out of Farming Simulator, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. It really helps the channel out, and it helps my ability to be able to run, which I'm hoping to run very soon, giveaways with various prizes, like the upcoming DLC. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So the comment that was left in... Well, the comment that really caught my attention was, what happens if I don't do maintenance and I just run my tractor without anything done to it? Basically, totally should be broken down mode. And that question kind of caught my attention. I was like, why not? Plus, I've seen a couple of other YouTubers in their videos, they pretty much let the maintenance bar on their tractor get down to, well, the red line before they repair it. And I'm like, again, watch my how to reduce maintenance costs, because the longer you go, the more your maintenance costs go up. Anyway, watch that video. Before we go to the next step, let's have a quick look at what Giants tells us. You can go to your garage. Over time, your vehicle and tools will deteriorate. Vehicles in need of repair lose speed and engine power. Okay, that's kind of exactly the same as happened in Farming Simulator 19. But we also know we can't rely on the results we had from Farming Simulator 19, because the way the engine setup's changed, the way the gearing's been changed, there have been several changes to the way tractors run from Farming Simulator 19. Hence the reason the maintenance video. That's changed. Sorry, I keep pushing that video, but so many people have thanked me for it. And this information is wrong here. Again, watch the video. So, as with all my videos, I am going to start off on a level playing field to measure the perfect world, to see how things run perfectly. So this tractor is fully maintained, it's fully fueled, the implement is brand new and obviously therefore fully repaired. The implement is perfectly matched to the tractor. It requires 140 horsepower and the tractor is 140 horsepower. So I want to make sure when I'm cultivating this field that the tractor performs the way it's supposed to. Hopefully on the way back, it will struggle a little bit, and I'll show you why in a minute. First, let me grab my stopwatch and I will start the test. So there's the test started, and the tractor is running downhill perfectly fine. I'm hoping that it will slow down a little bit going back up the hill, just to prove there is enough strain on the engine that it's actually making the tractor work hard. And we should see that in a minute. Now, a couple of people have asked why I only use base game equipment for testing purposes is because, well, Giants have a set of standards that they use for their equipment, and it's followed through from piece of equipment to piece of equipment. And therefore, it will provide a consistent result. Whereas I can't guarantee that, let's say, a tractor from SID modding is going to perform exactly the same way as custom modding will, or from Blue Agent, all excellent modders. But when they program in the specs of the tractor, it depends on the spec sheet they're using, and they do vary a little bit. So you are not going to necessarily get the consistent results you are by comparing Giants to Giants. That's the only reason I use Giants equipment consistently for my testing. Alrighty then, so while the other test is running, and please let me know how my sound is. Like I said, Windows did a update the other day and it reset all of my sound settings, including disabling my microphone, so I had to re-record a video. I don't know why Windows 11, when it does an update, messes with your sound settings, but it does. Okay. Like I said, here we have the same tractor, a 6120R, 140 horsepower, all the same specs as the tractor that's working in the field. The only difference is I've adjusted the maintenance down to 100% damage. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time to pick up speed. But it will. There, finally, slowly, there we go, get to 34 miles an hour, which is my adjusted top speed for this tractor. As you can see, I use them a lot. That's why I didn't like the base game speed of 24 miles an hour, I think it was, and I adjusted it. You can see how quickly it's now slowing down as it goes up the hill, and the engine has to work. But for the most part, it's maintaining 30 miles an hour, and it's not it's maintaining that speed, which would give most people the indication that running a vehicle at maximum damage is just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair this and show you what the repair cost is. $10,665 to repair this small tractor. I might as well repaint it too while I'm here, just because I have the money. So my test on the other field is going to be, the reason I'm timing it is, how quickly does a tractor cultivate that field when it's fully repaired versus how quickly does it cultivate that field when it's 100% damaged. And then we will take a look at the results. So I will see you in a few minutes. There we go. It's struggling on this little bit of a hill, so I know it's getting a workout, and our results should be accurate. And just for confirmation, if you look at the screen, it shows the cultivator is 100% damaged, the tractor is 100% damaged, and the front weight is 100% damaged. So everything is damaged. I'm not omitting anything I didn't So everything is pretty much exactly the same as the last test, but with 100% damage now. I'll give you the numbers in a minute. Okay, it's definitely having a hard time pulling because we were at 9 miles an hour going downhill. So there's a big difference right there. Alrighty then, so far, I mean, we're not finished yet, but so far the tests are looking quite interesting. This test is test number 3, and 6, 5, 4, 3. And all I can say is, A, it's taking a long time to record this video because I have to keep redoing the field so many times. But this is, like I said, test number 3, and the tractor itself is at 100%, so is the weight on the front. It is just the cultivator that is 100% damaged. And the thing I noticed is the tractor is able to maintain a consistent 6 miles an hour going down as well as going up. So it seems to have enough pulling power to keep the implement at maximum speed for what the damage level is. So it'll only slow down right at the end of the field. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there it goes. It does, okay, so regular turning behavior. The one I'm really interested in is this one too. I'll give you the results for this one in a little bit, but I have the combine. I did this field at 100% repair for the combine and the header, and now it's 100% damage on both the header and the combine. Just like the tractor, it has slowed down quite a bit. I'm curious to see what the yield difference will be. So hang tight, because there should be a yield difference. Excuse me, there should be a yield difference. End of test number 3, I guess this is. No, 2. Anyway, end of the next test. Results for the tractor cultivator were kind of what I expected, and I'll go over the numbers at the end. It's given me enough to have a working theory, and I will definitely explain that. But what really surprises me is the combine. This field, again, fully fertilized, fully limed, everything perfect, just like the time I harvested it before, with 100% damage to the header and to the combine itself. It yielded 50% less, even though the expected yield was the same. That's quite a difference. That really stands out to me. So I'm going to do one more run. I can't remember who did the tests in Farming Simulator 19, whether it was Farmer Klein or Farmer Kopp, but the damage was to, the grain loss was if the damage was to the combine and not to the header. So I'm going to run this test again with the combine at 100%, header at 100% damage as opposed to 100% repair like the combine. And I'm also going to flip around one last time that grass field with the tractor to see if 100% damage to the tractor makes up for 100% repair for the cultivator. I have a feeling I know what's going to happen, but stay tuned. Okay, we're on to the next test. And what I find interesting is the tractor is alternating. Going downhill, it can hit 9 miles an hour. Going uphill, it's alternating anywhere from... See, it's really starting to struggle now. And that wasn't the case in 19. The tractor kept pulling. It was all up to the damage to the implement. But now, apparently, damage to the tractor is a factor. You watch, it'll do 9 going down the hill. And I have some other conclusions that are very, very interesting. See, 9, no problem, going downhill. The next one, we'll hop back to the combine. And we're at 67% full, and we are on about the halfway mark of the field. So I would imagine by the time we hit the end of this field, we will be pretty close to what we got with a completely broken down combine. This is fascinating. It's similar but different to Farming Simulator 19. So stay tuned. Alright, this is a total sidebar, and this is, well, you know who you are. This is specifically for one of my viewers that made a comment in another video about being able to hop around using easy development controls. Well, take a look at these. I forgot to mention that. It's a teleportation device, and you can place it anywhere on the map, and it lets you instantly teleport to it just like a house. So you don't need easy dev controls for that. Yeah, I agree it's kind of Star Trek-y, but kind of cool to be able to do that. Alright, we're coming up on the end of our grain harvest here. There's no point me pausing it and then bringing you back in as we're so close. But I'm just trying to think. I'll do the percentages afterwards. I just want to get it unloaded and see what the final numbers are. Sorry, I've got a... for some reason I got a bad throat today. Frog in my throat, as they say. I know that's not very politically correct, but hey. So here we are, all done. We'll just go ahead. The other tractor is still running its drills in the other field. So that one won't be long either, and then we'll go over the final numbers. Huh, okay. So that's pretty close to what I got when both the header and the combine were repaired. And this is with just damage to the header. There is very little grain loss, which is kind of unrealistic. There is some. It's about maybe 5% grain loss. But if you don't, well, I guess it depends on what you don't repair on your header in real life. If you don't repair the sickle bar, it's just going to tear away at the wheat. And it's not going to cut it nicely. It's going to pull it, and it might not feed into the combine very well. And you might end up with more than a 5% damage rate. But having been a farmer myself, I can tell you if you don't actually repair, especially the threshing unit and the sieves on a combine, you are going to lose a ton of grain out of the back. And if you've ever watched Millennial Farmer or Lawson Farms, that's why they continually check to see what grain loss is out of the back of the combine. Come on. Struggling up this little hill on the side. Almost there. And that's where I stopped it before. Okay, so give me 2 seconds here. Alright, so let's talk final numbers. And by doing these experiments, I have so many more experiments in mind, and I'll go over that in a second. Let's talk about the combine first. I did the math and it worked. The difference between the fully repaired combine and the fully repaired header versus the fully repaired combine and the broken header is 4%. Not a huge difference. 4%, I mean, it's showing some signs of making a difference, but it could also be margin of error. Definitely having the broken combine makes a huge difference. Now, I didn't do any time recordings on combine because I figured it's going to fall into place with what I found out on the tractor. And here we are. Same tractor, couple of different tests. So, with both the cultivator and the tractor at 100% repair, sorry, there were 4 tests. The time to cultivate that field, and it's not a very big field, was 17 minutes and 52 seconds. Like I said, that's with everything at 100% repair and a small cultivator. With everything at 100% damage, it was 23 minutes and 20 seconds. So quite a significant difference. Now, the other interesting thing is fuel usage. With everything repaired, it cost me $6 in fuel to cultivate that field. With everything damaged, it cost me $11 in fuel. Round that up, say 12. And I got a pretty similar result with just the tractor being damaged. So, that ties into another video, the fuel video. So, damage actually affects fuel usage, not just the workload of the tractor. So we found out in the fuel usage video, obviously different conditions, driving around uses less fuel than actually working a field. Now, obviously, the worse condition of the tractor, working that field uses more fuel. Now, with just the cultivator 100% damaged, the time was 22 minutes and 5 seconds. And with the tractor, as it is now, 100% damaged, and that's just the tractor, it was 20 minutes and 5 seconds. So unlike Farming Simulator 19, as I said earlier, there is not just a correlation between damaged equipment and the amount of time it takes to do field work, there's also a correlation between the tractor damage. So, you want to make sure you are repairing your tractor and your equipment. Like I said, I'm going to link to the how to reduce maintenance cost video, but you want to make sure you are investing in maintenance. Let's figure out what the difference in the grain was between the fully damaged and the fully repaired combine. We'll figure out the price difference between that, like we did the fuel difference. But also think about if you're off doing other stuff and you have a damaged tractor and you're paying a laborer or a worker, if you will, to do that field work, it's taking roughly 30% more in labor to plow that field than it was with everything repaired. So you've got the added fuel cost, you've got the added labor cost. That's going to add up. I forget what this field is. I think it's only like 4 acres. Land areas, field area 40 is... Yeah, we're 40. It's 2.2 acres, I guess, workable space, and 3.36 total area. So that's a pretty small field. Imagine doing one of these big fields. Yeah, your costs are going to add up. As for the combine, the difference, again, in a small field, the difference in harvest revenue or harvest volume was 9,329 liters. That's having everything damaged and versus having everything repaired. So right there, let's round that up, because let's say a good wheat price is $1,000 on easy mode for 1,000 liters 1,000 liters of grain. So you're losing $9,000. Combine that with the lost labor, if you're using a helper, the lost fuel costs, because big equipment like combines use more fuel than something small like the 6120M here. And they're not going to take damage because you've already maxed out the damage. But yeah, you're looking at a significant cost increase by not repairing your equipment. I'm looking at that cedar ahead of me, and it's got me thinking. So we did the experiment on the combine, we did the experiment on the tractor, we've seen what the various expenses are there, but what this has got me thinking is two things. What about fertilizer spreaders, seeders, and other equipment like that? Lime, for example. How much extra money are you paying? Say your seeder is fully run down. Is it going to just slow you down, or is it going to actually use more seed? Same with the lime spreader and the same with the fertilizer spreader. Now, I'm not going to test this on this video because it's already running long enough. But I will test that on another, because that could also affect your costs. And the other thing I'm looking at is the dirt. For me, it's time to clean this. And it is definitely, even though it can get worse than this, definitely time to clean this tractor. I usually don't let the tractors get this bad. But the question I have is there a correlation between dirt and damage? All subjects for another video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If it saved you money, give it a thumbs up. And please remember to subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps. Thanks for watching and take care. Jay.